Good morning and welcome back to your weekend unboxing here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we're going to be taking a look at Disney Animated from Funko Games and Prospero Hall. Now, this is actually a cooperative game where you and the other players work together as the animation studio at Disney, making some of the classic films. But the villains of those films are working against you to prevent you from completing. So, this is a little bit of a new experience for me. Not in so much as the cooperative game aspect, I've played plenty of those, but this is the first time I've played one from Prospero Hall. Now, when I say played, I should make the caveat that this is just going to be a first look. We're opening it up, taking a look at the contents, but it used a few things that I thought were kind of interesting. Transparent cards, a few different mechanics to bring everything together as an animation studio. So when I saw a good deal on it, I decided to go ahead and pick it up and take a look at it. So with that said, do make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I do try to put out a few videos each week covering all sorts of tabletop gaming content, whether it's board games, miniatures, role-playing, or anything in between, and I'd love for you to come along and see what we have to share. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, so first off, we have the box. Now, Prospero Hall, I think, has an absolutely fantastic design aesthetic. In this case, it very much looks, obviously this is an old-time animation screen. Basically, you have the pegs that will hold the transparent cells in place, for the camera. But it also still looks kind of old-fashioned, like you'd see, say, in like the 50s or something. Obviously, on the back of the box, we're going to see what the options are. Now, this I think is kind of interesting. It does say Volume 1. So either they can do expansions or standalone expansions, or just simple kits just to add additional movies. Regardless, I think that's actually a pretty cool option, but we haven't seen it yet. The game did just release in 2023, so it hasn't even been a year yet, but who knows. But the movies involved are Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Fantasia, Alice in Wonderland, 101 Dalmatians, and Aladdin. So basically covering kind of the whole breadth of Disney in the 20th century. Obviously then we've got a list of contents, kind of an idea of what you're going to get. Now keep in mind this is for up to 4 players, and they do recommend about 20 minutes per player. All right, so first off, we've got the instructions, which I think is kind of cool because it's got the Disney Studios, again, back in the 50s and 60s. Prospero Hall always has like I said, they've got a good design aesthetic. Very, very good art. Looks like there's a learn to play video. But again, this all looks just very retro, very classic, which is fantastic. I don't think it'll be hard to figure the instructions out from the rules. Whatever we accomplish belongs to our entire group, a tribute to our combined effort, Walt Disney. Which I think is kind of interesting because we are dealing with a cooperative game. So this is going to be more of the generic playboard, so it's not dealing with any one particular movie. These look like roll cards, so animation, background, ink and paint, sound, and magic. So it says an action tile, so maybe each player is going to have to pick one of each of the actions. We then get into the movies. Now, this is kind of interesting. It's a dual layer board with these kind of polyomino pieces. So, but it doesn't look like there's a different way to put them in. So more than likely, probably one of the steps is you're going to have to build the background of the animation. And in this case, because it's for Alice in Wonderland, we've got the Mad Hatter, Alice in March Hare. So, like I said, there are the transparent cards. So the transparents are probably going to be for the characters to then put on the background, similar to an animation cell. Again, I haven't read the rules, so I'm not entirely sure, but just an idea. We then got Fantasia with Sorcerer Mickey and a couple of magic brooms. 101 Dalmatians with Anita, Pongo Perdita, and Roger. Aladdin with Abu, Aladdin, and Jasmine. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves with the Prince, Forest Friends, and Snow White. Alright. Then have a big selection of contents here. Alright, so let's start with this. Okay, so this looks... I'm not sure if these are player boards or if these are... So it's... When I was reading a just kind of a simple synopsis on the game, sounded like you're supposed to build all 5, but I think you might only work on one movie at a time. So I think this might just be, the board that you take out for the villains for those particular films. We then have an assortment of tokens. We've got colors, so probably the colors represent like the inks for the art. Got a first player token, some stars. We've got these boxes. So I'm not sure if this is... But yeah, this is probably just to store all the components to separate it between the films. Okay. And then we have the actual villains. So how they're going to work against the players. Oh, we got a whole bunch of wood tokens here. These are really nice. They've got a print on them. Let's zoom in here. So we've got a print on them on both sides. We've got the genie, we've got the dwarves, we've got dog bones, music, the Cheshire Cat, a movie reel. All right. Regardless, I mean, they're wood, they're custom shapes, and they're printed very nice. So keep in mind, I think the retail on this is around like 30 or 40 bucks. And I got it on sale online. So there's that. Here are the transparent cards that I was talking about. Yeah, it doesn't look like most games with the transparent cards where it has different icons. These look like they are just for the individual characters. So it's completely clear, obviously. But again, very, very nice printing. It is just single-sided. All the different characters for the films to make the individual scenes. So, like, honestly, just the production value on this alone is amazing. Actually, I'm not going to try and get those in the bag because I have a feeling I know what I'm going to have to do with those. Alright, we've got some, these say Calamity cards. So, the number of calamities is probably based on the number of players. So these are bad things based on the movie. There's not a lot of each. Okay, so maybe it is all of the movies at once. But again, that art style is very retro, very old school in the way that it looks. got some full-sized cards. Grit, inspiration, teamwork. Okay, so these are all listed as animation cards. All right, and then we have some cheat sheet cards. So on your turn, select an action tile, do the action, or take a magic token. Slide action tiles, place or use characters, and remove Calamity. Each character power can only be used once per turn. And then what to do with magic tokens. All right. So that's it. That's all the components. We've got just a simple divider here. I'm curious how these boxes will set up, but obviously I'm going to have to come back and show you all of that during a review, which I'm going to hope to do in the next couple of weeks. Part of the reason for that is I'm actually recording this early because by the time that you see it, I will be on the road to a Disney cruise. My wife and I are fortunate enough to get to go to do that. And I decided that I'm going to take, we're stuck on a boat for 7 days. So I'm going to take some board games. So it's actually going to be all Disney themed for the games that I take along. So with that said, I will come back and I will give you a review of what we thought playing this while surrounded by Disney. So it's going to be kind of interesting. But I do hope you enjoyed it. If you've played this, please put in the comments. What did you think of it? Did it work well as a cooperative game? Cooperative games usually have a problem where one person kind of just takes over. So let us know. How did it work out for you and your group? Love to hear from you in the comments. But with that said, there is an affiliate link down below. If this does interest you, it'll take you over to Amazon where you can pick it up yourself, or alternatively, go check with your local game store and see if they have it available as well. So with that said, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.